Hi, I'm Brenda Hammon, and we are back again, and this time we are having an interview with the most lovely and beautiful, and I am being biased, my daughter, Tannis Soderquist. She is a fitness trainer, and she is also editing books. So she is a copy editor, and she has been working on Hear Me, on editing that aspect. So, Tannis, what can you say about Hear Me, since you are the only person who has actually read the book? Nobody else has read the book except you and the editors in the States. So what can you tell us?
I really like the writing in Hear Me. You can put yourself into the story. So instead of, reading it as you're just reading the story about somebody else, you can actually put yourself into the story because the feelings are so there. It's raw and it's very emotional. You can't really put it down. I had a hard time editing it because I have to stop reading it. Oh my God, my cat, sorry. I had to stop reading it and getting into the story because, as an editor, you're supposed to be, going word for word, but I would just get into the story and I'd want to know more and more and more. Some of the things, I remember you telling us when we were kids and, growing up, some of the things that had happened to you, I kind of remember you not having or letting happen to us as kids. And I can definitely see why, as a parent, you were very protective over Martina and I, just from reading this. Because, as a kid, right? You don't ever think that your parent has to go through something like that, and you never really showed it to us that your past was as dark as it was. So reading this definitely it opens. I think not only my eyes, but anybody that is going to read that book, they're going to maybe think back to certain things in their past or people that they knew. And Austin, get the cat. They might be able to maybe recognize some of the signs of abuse from, I'm so sorry, stupid cat, from some of the things that, you have written, how you acted, how you changed, from, being a happy-go-lucky 5-year-old that had no worries whatsoever to this child that you had this deep harboring fear of, being alone, the dishes, things like that. And I think really a lot of people that are going to read this, they'll be able to maybe associate with some of the things that you went through, how you handled it, thinking the way that you did, that you were, ugly and useless and nobody loved you. And maybe they can help somebody else in their life that they have seen those changes in and help them to not have to go through what you went through. Because it's terrible. It absolutely is terrible.
Well, being the one who lived it, yeah, I can attest to that. Yeah, it is. So you also have decided to join me in my crazy pursuit of helping the Edmonton Dream Center in the leap of faith of jumping out of a plane at 14,000 feet, which I'm not that excited about, but it's for a good cause. So why did you decide to do it? I mean, Martina is doing it also, but she's not here to tell us that because she's at work. So what was your reasoning as to why you wanted to jump out of that plane?
When I seen your post on doing it, I honestly, the first time I seen it, I'm like, oh my God, this is spam, because I've never heard my mom say she wants to jump out of a plane. But after going in and looking at what the Dream Center was doing, and how they want to help, women in abusive situations and, even the children in those abusive situations, knowing your story and that you had no help, it just made me want to fundraise as much as I could and jump out of that plane, because why not? Get out of a plane.
We can plummet at 14,000 feet, the three of us together. So
Exactly.
Sounds terrifying.
I think it's going to be. you know, I'm not a big advocate of jumping out of planes. I'm not a big advocate of flying, but I do it. So jumping out of a plane and having that door swing open and having to look down at 14,000 feet is going to be a bit unnerving, I must say that. But you know what? If it's a small thing that I can do to help other women who have gone through what I've gone through. And when I was running, I was living in my car and living in my horse trailer because I had no place to go. So I think it's an important cause. So yeah. Megan, do you have anything else that you would like to ask Tannis?
Well, it's just so fascinating, of course, you being her daughter, that you have a different perspective than anybody else would. And you know, so I mean, you hinted on this, that you had really no idea in a lot of ways of what was really going on. So, you know, what was sort of going through your mind as you're reading this?
There was a lot of anger, I guess. You know, knowing who one of the abusers is. I do have, you know, a lot of disgust, I guess, for how somebody that I knew growing up could do something like that. You know, like it's absolutely flabbergasting. And honestly, to a 5-year-old, because I can remember my daughter when she was 5, and you know, if she had come to me, you know, when mom went to her mom, and I'd have killed the kids. I'd have killed them. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or buts. And then to know my grandmother was just nonchalant about it, like, it really pisses me off. It absolutely does. And I have changed my opinion on my grandparents. I you know, it has changed my opinion on them, because I did growing up, you know, they're your grandparents, and you grow up as a child thinking, and this is exactly what you did up until you were 5 years old, Mom, thinking that everybody in your family was there to protect you, you know, and, you know, reading the reactions and what happened, like it just absolutely has so much disgust for our family, not for you, but for our family, for the way that they have treated you over the years with everything that's come out. Pisses me off, and I think they're all spineless.
Well, unfortunately, our family is not unique in that situation. It happens to lots of victims who decide that they are going to break the cycle and speak about it. And probably more times than not, they are literally thrown under the bus. You're a liar, it didn't happen, you're bringing shame upon the family, how could you do this? And it's never about, or at least rarely, it's never about what the perpetrator did. Because the perpetrator sits back, and they're certainly not going to say a word about what they've done, because they don't want to bring any attention. So when the victim says, hey, this is what's happened to us, then the victim is the one that's being attacked, because they're the one that is opening up the doors and saying, this, you know, this has happened. So, you know, I can't say anything negative about my family, and I can't say anything good about them. They are what they are, and the line has been drawn in the sand as to which side of the fence they want to sit on, and it's certainly not on my side of the fence. Let's put it that way. But I mean, I'm okay with that. And I think anybody who speaks about this sort of atrocity that happens in their side of in their family, they have to realize that, you know, when you start talking about it, nobody's going to want you to talk about it. And some people are very fortunate. They have a family that says, oh my God, how can we help you? But most times it's the latter. They don't want to talk about it. So if I can actually at least help somebody in some way break down their walls of silence and break that cycle, you know, but they also have to know that there's consequences to going public with it. And you have to be okay with those consequences. And I, frankly, you know, my mother told me one time, you know, you got to let sleeping dogs lie. Well, you know, I couldn't, because it was destroying my life. And I decided that I deserved to have a life, and you girls deserve to have a life. You didn't need to go through what I went through. You didn't need to have a mother that was still stuck in all of that crap and being this overprotective mother, which both of you accused me of many times. But, you know, in hindsight, I can see where you guys are coming from, because you're going like, you know, what's the matter with this woman? Like, she's kind of crazy. She's pretty overprotective, won't let us do anything. You know, but, you know, I had those reasons, and you know what those are now. But it does change you. It does change you, and it changes how you raise your children. It changes how you view everything. And if it hadn't happened to me, then I wouldn't have been that overprotective. But it did, and I decided that, you know, you girls were never going to go through that. So, you know, I did that. I did that job okay. In that aspect.
So Tannis, are you proud of your mom for what she's done?
Oh, very, very much. Yeah. And I'll stand behind her all the way, no matter what. No, I think that what she has done with writing the books and telling her story, you know, like she said, where the family has picked their side that they wanted to be on, and they're going to be on the side of the abuser, not the victim. That's their decision. And yeah, I think that it was a brave thing that my mom did. And yeah, I'm damn proud of her every single day. Reading the books, it makes me even more proud of her for what she, you know, she could have been from the abuse to, you know, the road that she took. And yeah, I mean, it wasn't easy, you know, married to my dad probably was another nail in the coffin kind of thing. But no, I am very proud of her, and I always will be, no matter what.
Well, you know what? There's always a silver lining in every cloud, and being married to your dad brought me you and Martina, and I would not change that ever, ever, ever. If I had to redo my life over again, it would be exactly the way it is, because I got you guys, and that was well worth whatever journey I had to go on, is to get you and your sister. So that I will never ever regret ever doing any of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I love you very much, and I love your sister very much too. So yeah. Okay, I'm getting emotional here.
You're missing.
So again, everybody, we are having more interviews. I don't know if this is the last one today or more coming up. Megan is my guru girl who does all of that sort of stuff. So remember, get your copy of Hear Me. It is on the website. There are links to everything. And we will talk to you guys soon. And thank you, Tannis, for taking the time. I know you were running hectic with training somebody and getting Austin from school and doing this and doing that. So thank you very much. And Megan, thank you. I've been a crazy lady today. Saying, oh my God. But anyway, so I thank you, and get your books, and here we go. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.